Hello?
Hey, how you doing? My name is Kameron Karter from American Income. I handle the no-cost benefits and the child safe ID kits endorsed through the International Union of Police Associations. Is Mary here?
Yeah, she's in.
Okay, awesome. They have me using my laptop for safety time and for quality control. Do you mind if we sit at your kitchen table when you're in outlet?
No, not at all. Come on in.
All right, cool. They have me running around like crazy, so if it's okay with you, I'll go ahead and give you the quick version. Y'all want my shoes on or off before I come
Nah,
in?
you can leave him on, man.
All right, awesome. Mary, how's it going? It's nice to finally meet you.
That's good. Busy with the kids.
Busy with the kids. Busy with the kids. Everything going all right this morning, though?
It is.
That's good. That's good. Oh, man. Oh, how long have you guys been living over here in the area?
Oh, since we were kids, both of our parents live right down the street.
Both of your folks live down the street? Oh, that's
Yeah.
definitely convenient. That's definitely convenient. I've been here since born and raised in Houston. I went to school out in San Antonio for a while, though, and came back home. You know, love the city. Love the city. How about the little ones there? Any activities? Y'all?
We've got a ton of nieces and nephews they're always with, and then our neighbors are super friendly, so their kids are about the same age.
Okay, that's definitely good. If they in sports or anything, especially with the kids next door, I'm sure it all gets pretty competitive.
Well, Ben's in the Boy Scouts, so, he's, I love sending him away as much as possible, and we send him off both to camp every summer, so we get a little bit of private time. And then Abby, she's kind of doing a little bit of the dance.
A little bit of the dance?
Yeah, she's taking some dance classes. We'll see if it sticks.
Definitely good. Got to keep them active, because kids have a ton of energy these days, and if you don't keep them active, they're just going to drive you crazy. Joe, let me get, when's your birthday, by the way, Joe?
My birthday is May 18th,
May 18th.
1977.
That's right. 1977. So, yeah, have you guys been making any plans for Memorial Day weekend?
We wanted to go out on the boat, but it's Houston, so it kind of depends on the weather.
Yeah, definitely. It's so wishy-washy here. Mixes up. It'd be hot one day, snowing the next day.
Yeah, so we want to go out on the boat, but we might end up doing a movie night if the weather doesn't work for us.
Understood. Yeah, I'm gonna be working on Memorial Day. Gotta keep busy.
Body's in motion, stay in motion.
Oh, for sure. What type of work do you guys do?
I'm actually a pipe fitter with, union number 86, so that's my Teamsters number. Okay. And Mary, man, she's just always home with the kids.
Hey, toughest job in the world.
Yeah, it is. That's why we keep them involved in all the after-school stuff, so she can get a little bit of private time to run errands.
Absolutely. How long have you been with the Teamsters? How long have you been a pipe fitter?
Like 10 years.
10 years?
Mm.
Oh, so you're definitely a veteran in the game.
Yeah, I was doing that kind of work before, but I always wanted to be union, so finally got in.
That makes sense. Yeah, but let me tell y'all exactly what my job is. First, I'm going to deliver y'all's child safe kits and no-cost benefits. Then I'm going to go over some additional benefits that you're entitled to if you qualify. Now, this is a two-part program. The first part protects your kids when something happens to them. And then the second part of the program protects your kids when something happens to you. Because my company, American Income, we work with over 20,000 different unions, credit unions, and associations, handling their additional benefit. And because of our relationship with the International Union of Police Associations, you're entitled to the same exclusive benefits that groups like police officers and firefighters have had access to for years. And this quick video will give you a quick introduction to the company. Can you guys see that all right?
Yeah.
To deliver your valuable benefit package, including the child safe kits you requested. American Income Life is a member of Torchmark Corporation, a financial services holding company listed on the New York Stock Exchange. We are an international company with thousands of representatives. We work with more than 20,000 organizations.
No, it's a well-put-together video.
Have y'all heard of Torchmark before?
Yeah, Torchmark, but I haven't actually heard of the agency you come from, so it's nice to know y'all are affiliated.
Absolutely, yeah. We don't really advertise like the other major companies do.
Yeah, I think you guys are just union, right?
Yeah, we're just union, pretty exclusive. We work with over 20,000 different groups, so that definitely establishes our credibility there. Would y'all cook it up a little bit? It smells good in here.
Oh, Mary's making, I don't know, her mom's recipe. I think it's like jerk chicken or beef.
Pretty
spicy. Pretty spicy, yeah.
Big fan of the jerk chicken. Big fan. My grandma whips that up all the time.
Yeah, she's Jamaican, so, it's a little palau, a little bit of jerk chicken.
Yeah,
all the stuff. I didn't even know what it was until we got together.
Gotcha. That was good. Okay, so Joe and Mary, This is your child safe kits. I'm sure y'all know children's with family, right?
Yes.
Families with children, right? I mean, this kit provided by American Income is by far one of the most comprehensive on the market. It helps give police exactly what they need to find a missing child. You can only get this from a visit from someone like me. And I also have one of these for each Ben and Abby. So with the child safe kit, on the front right here, you just write the child's name and then whatever date you filled it out. On the inside, we recommend you write this in pencil because over time, things are going to change. So just the child's name, their birthday, height, and some other important information right there. So we do have a physical description part, in which is like the braces, or if they have glasses, birthmarks, you can write a number right here. It's the front and back. We have a DNA sample, so there's two options you have. You can use a hair follicle. You just got to make sure that white part's on there. You tape it on, it's going to last 2 to 3 years. Or you can use a fingernail or a toenail, tape it on, that's going to last 20 years. So that's probably your best bet. So right here is the fingerprint portion. So we have an ink strip, pull it apart like a Band-Aid. You got to do it before bed because it does stain. You know how the little ones get, they run around, white fingers on the wall.
Oh yeah, crayons on the walls.
All that good stuff. And so instead of rolling it on, you just stamp it on. Also, here's a test strip, just in case you want to practice and see how it is. All right. So on the back side is just a photo, just an individual photo. We don't want to do a group photo. Whatever, how old they were in that photo, and then whatever date that photo was taken. If you're going to add to it, you just put the pictures on top so police can see an age progression over time.
Okay.
All right, on the back, just important tips to teach your children, like dialing 911, definitely knowing their address, teaching your kids about stranger danger, because it's very important to know that. And then also, whenever they go to school, you don't want to write their names on the backpacks or lunch boxes, anything like that, because that just gives predators an opportunity to prey on your kids. Because, I mean, out here in Houston, every time you turn on the news, you hear about human trafficking, kidnapping, or just a child running away from home. And if something happened to one of the children that y'all know, wouldn't y'all want their parents to have this kid as well?
Yeah, definitely.
Through our partnership as the endorsed company by the International Union of Police Associations, to handle this program, y'all can get this kid out to up to 10 families that have children. So you mentioned the neighbors earlier, that they play with Ben and Abby. Let's get them out.
Yeah, they definitely need to get it. So I have neighbor number 1.
Neighbor number 1, what's the name?
Samantha.
Samantha?
Yeah, Samantha and Rick. Their last name is James.
James. Okay. How many kiddos do they have?
They have 4 of them.
Right. And who's next?
My sister, Penny. Her last name is Dominguez.
How many kiddos?
She has 4 as well.
All right, who's next?
And then Joe's sister. She has 2 little ones, and she's single.
And what's her name?
Her name is Samantha
Samantha, okay.
Davidson.
Got it. Right, so yeah, we'll definitely get those child safes out to them. So join Mary. The next no-cost benefit is the health service discount card. Since group benefits can change or be taken away, this benefit helps give you up to a 60% discount on vision care, prescription drugs, hearing aid, and chiropractic services. This brochure has all the enrollment information, including a toll-free number. It also has a website, which will answer any of your questions. So I'll leave this here for y'all. Y'all can check it out after I leave. All right. So the next no-cost benefit is the accidental death and dismemberment benefit. Joe, for you, this is a living benefit that pays you $1,000 for the loss of a hand, a foot, or sight, and one eye, and double that, or $2,000 for the loss of any two. Mary, for you, this would be a death benefit should Joe die accidentally. And guys, I know that $2,000 isn't all the money in the world, but I'm sure how y'all can see how that would help, right?
Yeah.
So Joe, go ahead and sign here, acknowledging the benefits, and that Mary is the beneficiary. And then Mary, you can sign on the bottom, just acknowledging the benefits and that you are the beneficiary. So one more thing I do need to put down, in the event, Joe, you and Mary were to die together in a common accident, is 2 emergency contacts. So it'd be wise if they were local, over the age of 18, and living outside of your home. Who would be y'all's first emergency contact?
Oh, definitely my mom, Martha Phipps.
Okay.
And her husband's name is Steve. He's kind of quirky, I'm going to warn you.
Kind of quirky?
Yeah, he's kind of quirky.
All right, that's good. Keep me entertaining. And who would be the second?
Probably Mary's parents.
Mary's parents, okay.
Jean and Steve.
Jean
Two
Steve?
Steves, yes. And they literally both live 2 blocks in opposite directions.
In the opposite directions?
Yeah, so if you go 2 blocks that way from my house, you'll be at my folks.
Okay.
2 blocks that way from our house, you'll be at her folks. We're really family oriented, so we stay close.
Awesome. How about we just go ahead and give them a call and let them know that I'll be coming out and talking to them about being the beneficiary for this.
Oh yeah, no worries. They're totally retired, so I'm sure they're home.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get them called out. But Joe and Mary, I do need your help. Can y'all help me with something?
Sure.
Right. So American Income gives me 10 of these life insurance certificates to hand out to families that you introduced me to. I'm just asking for an introduction. It doesn't cost you or them anything. Worst case scenario, they get more insurance and you help me out. Most people give these to the emergency contacts just because they're the closest to them. But aside from them, let's get these out to at least 5 families. Who would be the first family you want to get these out to?
Oh, definitely all my brothers need it.
All your brothers need it?
Yeah, they're in construction trades, so they're going to lose a finger somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So go ahead and go with John. His last name is Dorr, D-O-R-R. And he's an eligible bachelor, so if you know a woman that needs a good guy, he's a good guy. He's just a nice guy.
Okay.
And then Ted, my other brother, his last name's also Dorr.
Okay. And who's next?
And then my other brother is Quentin.
Quentin.
And his last name is a little different. It's Haun, H-A-U-N. He took his wife's last name.
All right. And we got a few more spots available.
Okay. Let's definitely give the next one to Trenny.
Trenny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I don't understand it, but her last name's Haun as well.
Trenny Haun. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
She's like kind of a cousin.
Cool.
And then Mary's sister for sure. So Mary's sister's name is Stephanie.
Okay. Right. Please make sure the families that you're extending the no-cost benefit to, that you just reach out, give them a call or a text, just letting them know that I'll be in contact with them within the next few days.
Okay.
All right. So Joe and Mary, the reason that this is a 2-part program is that right now, frankly, families are dealing with some serious gaps in the coverage. So that's why they felt this was important enough to send me out here personally just to review this with y'all. So the first concern, it does have to do with y'all's funeral and final expenses. So Joe and Mary, do y'all know how much a funeral costs today?
Oh, probably like 12,000.
12,000?
Yeah.
That's pretty close. Taking everything into consideration, funerals are upwards of $14,000 to $20,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so most families I know, they don't have that type of money sitting in their bank account. And even if they did, they weren't saving their entire life to give it all to a funeral director. Wouldn't y'all agree?
Yeah.
So, the next concern does have to do with paycheck loss. Now, typically when a member dies, their paycheck dies with them. But the bills don't stop coming in. So that becomes very overwhelming for the surviving spouse and children just trying to keep up with all the bills. Third concern has to do with mortgage. Families tend to lose their home first when the unexpected death of a breadwinner.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
It does.
And fourth concern has to do with children's protection. Benefits provided through work, they're not permanent for children. So that definitely creates a risk and jeopardizes their insurability. And then the unexpected death of a breadwinner will also jeopardize future educational opportunities for children as well.
Yeah.
The next concern does have to do with the co-pays, deductibles, and lost wages. Now, the health insurance, they pay the doctors. But if you ask me, doctors and hospitals get enough of our money as is. Wouldn't y'all agree?
Yeah.
Exactly. But members still lose money due to all the out-of-pocket expenses and lost wages due to the time off work and being in the hospital. Now, the next concern does have to do with losses in pension and retirement accounts. Unexpected situations, they create dramatic reductions in pensions. That's even if you're lucky enough to have a pension.
Yeah.
Now, the seventh concern does have to do with terminal illness, especially dealing with things like cancer. Like, we all know somebody, like family member, co-worker, friend that has to do with cancer. I'm sure y'all know somebody.
Yeah, quite a few.
Yeah. So according to the American Cancer Society, 1 in 2 men develop and die from cancer. So Joe, that's me. And married for ladies, it's a 1 in 3 chance, but once you hit the age of 55, that hops right back up to 1 in 2 chance. So that's like the flip of a coin. And then right now, medical expenses are the leading cause of bankruptcy in America.
I can believe that.
And then the last concern does have to do with affordability. So we sit down with people making $7 an hour. Some make $47. Some families work ton of overtime, and then some people are laid off. I mean, the biggest thing is that they want this to be affordable for everybody. Joe, so let's imagine that tomorrow you're going to work, and your boss comes up to you and is like, hey, Joe, business has been good. The company's going to start paying you for 41 hours instead of 40. Now, with that 1 hour, are you and Mary going to go out and buy that new Ferrari?
No.
Start construction on your dream home?
No.
Of course not. Well, let's think on the flip side. So imagine your boss came up to you and was like, Joe, things have been a little bit slow, but instead of laying you and your coworkers off, we're going to send everyone home an hour early on Fridays. So you'll be working 39 hours instead of 40 hours. With that 1 hour, would you have to get rid of your cake?
No.
Cancel Ben and Abby's dentist appointments?
No.
Take food off the table?
No.
Like, exactly. A 1 hour adjustment, it doesn't really change anything. All right, so can we agree on that?
For sure.
All right, so the final no-cost benefit is the needs analysis. So I'm going to ask you some questions. If there's no need, it won't make a recommendation. If there is a need, I'll review the recommendations with you.
Okay.
So, Mary, when's your birthday?
June 4th, 1982.
June 4th. It's my mom's birthday. A little bit older, not 1982 though, but...
Yeah, my friend Mike has that same birthday.
He has the same birthday? And who's the oldest between Ben and Abby?
Ben is the oldest.
Ben is the oldest?
Yeah, he's December 14th of 07.
December 14th. So does he get double, is he a double whammy? He get birthday presents and Christmas, or do y'all do it all in
Yes,
one?
we don't want him to get cheated.
I understand. And Abby. Abby, A-B-B-Y?
Yes.
And when's Abby's birthday?
July 4th. Yeah, we've got holiday babies. And
Wow.
she was born in 2010.
July the 4th. I'm sure she has crazy birthday parties.
She thinks the fireworks are for her.
I mean, I would too. These questions are going to pertain to Ben and Abby as well as you guys.
Okay.
So any internal cancer in the past 2 years, breast, colon, pancreatic, uterine?
No.
Diabetes, metformin, insulin?
No.
Cardiovascular disease, heart attack, stroke, peripheral vascular disease, high blood pressure?
Yeah, I have a little bit of high blood pressure.
You have a little bit of high blood pressure? How long have you been dealing with it?
A couple years. For a while, maybe 5 years.
You take anything for it?
Yeah, I do.
Every day, every other day?
Every day.
Every day. Currently using oxygen, like sleep apnea or asthma, anything like that?
Nothing like that.
Terminal illness, like dementia, Alzheimer's?
No.
Has anybody used tobacco in the last 12 months?
Well, Mary's a smoker. Can't get her to quit.
Gotcha, Mary. How much do you smoke?
Oh, she smokes so much. She'll tell you a lie. It's like a pack a day, but I think it's really probably closer to 2 packs a day.
2 packs a day. Currently on probation or parole?
No.
Arrested or convicted of a DUI?
Never.
What would you say your monthly take-home pay is after taxes?
Probably about now after they're taking everything out, what I actually get. Okay. So like $3,200.
And Mary, your stay-home mom?
Yes.
How much life insurance do you currently have through work?
Well, I think I have like 50,000 in term.
50,000 in term?
Yeah, and then maybe another like 20,000 through the group.
Through the group?
Yeah.
You know the difference between the term and?
Yeah, I do actually.
Gotcha. What is it?
Well, term is just for a set amount of time, and whole life is like for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Do you have any life insurance outside of work?
Yeah, the 50,000 term is actually outside of work.
Okay.
No, I think it's through the group. I don't think I have anything outside of work. I think Mary does.
Right. So do y'all currently rent or own?
Oh, we own the house.
Own the house. And what's the balance on the house?
Oh, 120 easy.
120?
Yeah, we've only had it for a few years, like 6 years, so we still have like 24 years to go.
About 3%?
No, it's a 5%.
5? Okay. You said 24 years?
Yeah.
And do you have any insurance to pay off your mortgage in case of a death?
No. We're still trying to, adapt to having a mortgage.
And what about, you have any saved up for Ben and Abby's college education?
Not a lot.
Not a lot. Y'all use a credit union, traditional bank?
Oh, credit union.
Credit union? So y'all doing the family thing for Memorial Day? Y'all,
Yeah,
I know y'all said y'all going out.
We're going to try to do the fishing thing, but we're just going to do it with us, just us and the kids. But, I mean, if the weather goes bad, we might end up down the street at the folks' house. They have, a lot covering in their backyard.
Understood. Where do y'all typically fish at?
Lake Houston.
Lake Houston? Okay.
Yeah, we've tried the river, but the kids just lose all the lures and stuff.
Gotcha. I'm a big fan of fishing. It's been a while, just so busy, but, I try to get out there when I can. It's pretty peaceful.
Weather permitting, of course.
Weather permitting, for sure.
It can be beautiful when you get out there. As soon as you drop a line in the water, it's a rainstorm.
No doubt. Okay, John Mary. So before I review your areas of concern, I do have this mandatory read-off letter, which explains how the enrollment process works. But instead of reading this whole thing, let me just summarize it for you. So what it's basically saying is that as I'm going through the benefits, you're nodding your head thinking, wow, these are some great benefits. I see why they approved this and why everyone is doing it. Then go ahead and apply today while I'm out here. On the flip side, if as I'm going through the benefits, you're thinking, these are some great benefits. I see why they approved this. Or they just don't feel the need for me and my family right now, then I'm just going to ask you not to apply.
Okay.
But either way, yes or no, that decision does have to be made today during the service period. Just in fairness to all the other people waiting to enroll. And they figure they can do it this way because everything has been checked, rechecked, and approved by over 20,000 different groups that set this up to be a no-brainer for the members. So, it's going to be an easy yes or no. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, Joe and Mary, but whatever you do decide to do, they still want your opinion on this officer report form, which is sort of like my report card. So, it's just important you listen and ask me any questions that you have. Joe, you promise to stop me if you have any questions?
I do.
Mary, you too?
Yes.
All right, perfect. Been digging the Boy Scouts?
Well, his little friend joined, so now he's liking it a little more. For a little while, he kind of felt like he didn't fit with the group. They're a little bit older than him. It's his first year in.
That definitely makes sense. Boy Scouts. My brother was in the Boy Scouts, but all I ever did was just play sports, man.
Yeah, we just try and keep him busy.
Just keep him busy.
Yeah, at the same time.
Keeps him out of trouble, no
That
doubt.
way we pick them up at the same time. And the good thing about the Boy Scouts is we don't have to pick them up. They drop them back off at the house and pick them up.
Yeah. Oh, that's definitely plus. That gives you a little bit of time to just have a little peace of mind. I know it gets pretty rowdy over time.
Yeah, let's Mary have a glass of wine.
Yeah, that's always a good thing. Right. So, Joe and Mary, let me review your options using an illustration. So, let's say with your current job, we'll call this Job A. So, with Job A, you're making about $800 a week in your normal group benefits. So, let's say you're going to work tomorrow and another job opens up. And we'll call this Job B. With Job B, you get your same normal group benefits, same responsibilities, same coworkers, and everything. But with Job B, you're making $775 per week, $775 per week. Which, like you said before, or like an hour's wage difference, which, like you said before, really wouldn't make that much of a difference, but that 1 hour is going to eliminate all your concerns. Now, the first concern does have to do with your funeral and final expenses. There's a 100% chance we're going to need this, and I'll let this quick video explain.
The family is one of the most beautiful and valued things in life. For this reason, saying goodbye to a loved one can be difficult, and even more so when we are not prepared. The emotional distress adds to the financial burden. It can be devastating to lose the family savings or even the family inheritance. The average cost of a funeral continues to rise, and these expenses can be higher depending on where you live.
Any questions about the video? That
No, I think Mary cried a little bit.
so American Income is going to provide you with $15,000 for this. So the freedom of choice is there to take care of that burden for your family. They're using whole life insurance to fund your freedom of choice. That way is there when, not if your family needs it. It also protects any existing savings and insurance that your family might have. Right now, with your current job, you don't have this. I mean, obviously, Mary, when Joe dies, you're going to miss him. But after a few weeks, you're going to be missing his paycheck as well. So American Income is going to provide you with $115,000 for that. So, Mary, this will give you $3,200 for 60 months to replace Joe's income. I mean, this will be reviewed, renewed, and updated every 10 years. And Mary having 5 years of income would be huge at the time, right?
Yeah.
Now, the next thing people want secured for their family, besides their income, is their home. So American Income is going to provide you with $120,000. So if you were to die during your working years, Joe, it'd probably be due to an accident. So to give you the most value, this is funded by an accidental death benefit. And right now, with your current job, you don't have this. So the next concern does have to do with your children's future education. If you died unexpectedly, American Income is going to provide $50,000 for both Ben and Abby. I mean, this will be set up just to give them a head start in life. And right now, with your current job, you don't have this. Also included is a special $10,000 life insurance plan. So once they turn 21, they can convert this to 5 times the amount, or $50,000 of permanent life insurance with no type of health questions. And I mean, Ben and Abby will definitely thank y'all for having the foresight to get this set up for them in the future. So now the next benefit does have to do with some income concerns if you were in an accident or were to get injured. This benefit will pay you up to $100 every time you went in for a bump, bruise, or bee sting, any type of accident or injury. And then also, if you're in the hospital, it will pay you $200. And if you were overnight in the hospital or something more serious like intensive care, it would pay you $400. So, Joe and Mary, if you're in the hospital, what are you not doing?
Working.
If y'all are not working,
I'm not making any money.
but do the bills come in?
Yeah.
Exactly. This benefit, if you were injured on or off the job, it pay you and you were in the hospital for 5 days, they pay you $1,000.
Wow.
I mean, with your current job, all you get is bills and income loss.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, this will pay you $10,000 for the loss of a hand, foot, or sight in one eye, and double that. Or $20,000 for the loss of any two. And obviously with our current drive, we don't have it. So Joe, if you were to die during your working years, this will definitely catch your family off guard and stop your pension and Social Security accumulation. So the surviving spouse and your children will receive an additional $100,000, $20,000 to $100,000 that pays out immediately depending on the type of accident. So the both of you will be covered for this. That way you're both protected. And right now, with your current job, you don't have it. Also, another important feature of this program, if you're diagnosed with a terminal illness such as cancer, you have access to half of your freedom of choice and half of your income protection while you're alive, just to put your family in the best financial situation before you die. And then the remainder will be paid out to your family. So Joe, this will give you $19,950, and then Mary, this will give you $8,550, just to put you in the best financial situation before you die. And right now, with our current job, we obviously don't have this. So American Income, we've been around for almost 70 years. We have an A+ financial rating. Unlike the group benefits, which you can lose, these benefits are permanent and portable. So if you ever leave your job or retire, you keep these. And then if you're involved in a qualified layoff, cover the benefits for up to 3 months. And then if you're involved in a strike, cover the benefits for 12 months. So that way you don't lose them. Right, does that make sense?
It does.
So, Joe, if you went into work tomorrow and you had to choose between job A and job B, which job would you choose?
Oh, job B for sure.
For sure?
For sure.
Okay. Mary, what would you say?
Job B.
I mean, why would you choose job B if you're making more money over here at job A?
Because my family would be protected.
I mean, that's what everyone says. They set this up to be a no-brainer. So now what I've just gone over with y'all is what the benefit software suggests as a basic plan, just to handle y'all's concerns. There is one more option you could choose if you qualify. So it's recommending that you move to preferred freedom of choice benefit of $31,000 to protect your family from inflation increases. I mean, Joe and Mary, this actually gets you a better rate. It's only an additional $12 per week. So would you rather go with the basic plan for $25 per week, or would you rather do a little bit more for your family and get the inflation protection included for $37 per week?
I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I don't think we can afford it at this time.
You don't think you can afford it?
No.
I can understand that. It's difficult nowadays to make ends meet. Joe and Mary, every time it seems we're just about to get caught up, another bill comes up and puts us back in the hole. But when you think about it, over the years, when anything ever did come up, you've been able to make whatever adjustments were necessary to keep food on the table and heat in the wintertime for your family. And Joe, I mean, a lot of times families do take you for granted. You're the man that gets up every day, goes to work, brings the money home to take care of things, and make ends meet. And Joe, the only thing that could ever prevent that from happening is if all of a sudden you weren't here anymore. All of a sudden that money we all took for granted, just cut off forever. And that's an adjustment you wouldn't be here to make, and your family couldn't possibly make. So sure, this $25 a week, $37 a week will be an adjustment, but just treat it as if Uncle Sam increased your taxes to prevent your wife and family from being faced with a decision they couldn't possibly make. So would you rather enroll at the basic plan for $25 per week, or would you rather do a little bit more for your family and get the inflation protection included for $37 per week?
I mean, we should probably just start with the basic plan because things are kind of tight right now.
Okay, that's smart. That's exactly what I do. But like I said, you do have to qualify, so I'm just going to ask you a few health questions to just see where you're at. Has any proposed insurer ever been treated for or advised to be treated for alcoholism, alcohol abuse, including membership in AA, or been advised by a physician to reduce alcohol consumption?
No.
Has any proposed insurer ever used drugs not prescribed by a physician, such as cocaine, hallucinogens, barbiturates, tranquilizers, narcotics, or sedatives?
No.
Has any proposed insurer ever had their driver's license suspended or revoked because of a movement violation, or been arrested, including arrest for driving while intoxicated or under the influence?
No.
Has any proposed insurer flown within the last 2 years or intended to fly in the future as other than a passenger on a scheduled airline? So do y'all intend to fly like a Cessna? Anything
No.
like that?
No, we don't even like to fly.
Understood. Has any proposed insurer ever participated within the last 2 years or intended to participate in any of the following activities? Auto, motorcycle, or boat racing?
No.
Parachute?
No.
Jumping, skiing, scuba, or skydiving?
No.
Has any proposed insurer ever been advised to take tests and not done so, or not received the results, being diagnosed as having, or received treatment for high blood pressure, chest pains, heart attack, stroke, any heart, blood, circulatory disorders?
I have the high blood pressure.
You have the high blood pressure. And you say you take medicine every day or every other day?
Every day.
How many milligrams is that? Is this like a lisinopril or?
Yeah, it's the lisinopril. It's like 10 milligrams.
10 milligrams? And just once a day? Would you say it's well under control, or?
I mean, I've been taking it for like 5 years.
5
I feel like
years.
it's under control.
For 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Has any of the insured ever been treated for any of the following conditions? Diabetes or other endocrine disorders, thyroid, hyperthyroid,
No.
paralysis, epilepsy, mental disease or disorder, or any other nervous system or brain disorder like PTSD, ADHD, ADD,
No.
anything like that? Has any proposed insurer ever had arthritis or any injury or trouble with their back, neck, knees, any joints in your body, wrists, elbows?
No, not
Disc.
yet.
Disc, all right.
Probably my wrist later. You know?
Your wrist later?
Yeah, with the pipes.
With the pipe
All wrist work.
To the best of your knowledge and belief, do you have any physical impairment or departure from good health?
No.
Has any proposed insurer ever been advised to take tests and not done so, or not received the results, being diagnosed as having, or received treatment for cancer, tumor, or unexplained masses?
No.
Has any proposed insurer ever been rejected for life or medical hospital insurance, rated, or failed to receive a policy as applied for?
No.
Has any proposed insurer in the last 5 years had a physical examination?
All of us, we do it every year.
Had any medical treatment, including prescription medications?
Well, yeah, I do the high blood pressure.
High blood pressure.
And Mary just takes vitamins, but they're just like vitamin C, vitamin D. So nothing by a doctor, just, vitamins.
Have you been hospitalized or anything for your high blood pressure? Anybody been hospitalized?
No.
Is any proposed insurer currently a resident in a nursing home or ever been diagnosed as having terminal illness, including Alzheimer's disease?
No.
Has any proposed insurer ever had or been treated for any of the following conditions? Asthma, emphysema, sleep apnea, or other respiratory disorders? Any like lung issues or?
No. Not yet. Mary's working on it. They're back today.
Ooh. Ulcer or colitis or other digestive tract disorders?
No.
cirrhosis, hepatitis, or other liver disorders, or any blood disorder received a bone marrow transplant.
No.
Kidney, prostate, urinary bladder, or other genitourinary disorders.
No.
Disease of the breast, uterus, or ovaries.
No.
Rheumatoid arthritis and any other musculoskeletal disorders. No MS or anything.
No.
Loss of hearing or loss of sight.
No.
Acquired immune deficiency syndrome, AIDS, AIDS-related complex, or AIDS-related conditions.
No.
Has any proposed insurer ever tested positive for antibodies of the AIDS HIV virus?
No.
Does any proposed insurer smoke cigarettes or use tobacco in any other form like you did?
No, just
Okay.
Mary. She's the user, yeah.
So 2 packs a day.
Yeah. Maybe you can talk some sense into her.
Oh, 2 packs a day. Has any proposed insurer used marijuana in the last 2 years?
No.
I mean, guys, I'm really not an underwriter or anything like that, but you should be able to qualify for benefits. So, I'm going to go over the Q&R checklist. This is what a mandatory checklist that we review with all of my members. This explains how the benefits are handled. All right, the first thing this talks about is how benefits are handled. This program is set up on a once-a-month computerized deduction through your banking system. Having it done this way gains you the discounted rate. Your program is only $125 per month. This can be handled anytime between the 22nd and the 5th. What 5th of the month? What date is best for you?
Probably the first.
The 1st of the month. So once we set that up, you will have to handle your first bank draft today, but after that, you'll be drafted on the 1st of the month.
Okay.
Because this is a member-owned program, and once it's issued, it cannot be taken away by American Income or your employer. There's an application process which we started with the health question. Does that make sense? Once you guys have this program in place, this is y'all's. You own it. You can move to Alaska if you wanted to. This is still going to be y'all's.
Okay.
Because, Joe, you're not a tobacco user, there will be an oral specimen required along with the HIV consent form that ensures the results are sent to your home privately in the case of a positive HIV result. In addition to checking for nicotine use, this quick specimen also tests for various health issues, as well as drugs, both legal and illegal. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
The enrollment process takes anywhere from 2 to 8 weeks. If accepted, you'll receive your policies and a congratulatory letter welcome you to AIO. If denied, you'll receive today's deposit back, and you can write to American Income and request why.
Okay.
So this does take 2 to 8 weeks, the enrollment process. They want to verify everything, make sure everything is clear.
Okay.
Obviously, with these benefits, you are conditionally covered from the moment I walk out of your door. So the first bank draft happens immediately within 24 to 48 hours. Right? So there is a $5 application fee for every time you're going for a bump, bruise, or bee sting, the A71. So your total today for your first premium is $130. It's only the $130 for the one time, but after that, on the first, you'll be drafted to $125.
Okay.
Items we need to complete your application process is your driver's license, doctor's information, any meds taken, and your checkbook. So if you want to get up and grab that from me real quick, we'll get the process.
So it's going to come out like tomorrow or the next day?
Yes, 24 to 48 hours. That first bank draft happens immediately. That way it ensures you're covered.
Okay.
So that way there's no confusion as to if we didn't receive the money, and then that way I walk out of y'all's home, Joe's on his way to work, you get hit by a bus or something like that, you're going to get
Okay.
So we're good? That makes sense?
Yes.
Check should be made out and should be written for $130. Make the check out to AIO.
Okay.
If there's a health problem, the company will attempt to approve you anyway by adding a special risk premium. You'll be notified if that happens. Okay.
Are you going to be the one that calls me?
Say that one more time.
If something changes, you'll be the one that calls me?
Yeah, definitely, and I'll go ahead and explain it. Because at some point in everyone's life, they become uninsurable and will be declined for insurance. This is usually due to age, health, or habits. Once you become uninsurable, you typically can't get insurance again. So if you are approved, there are 3 possible outcomes. First, you could be approved standard due to having minor or no health issues. The second option, you can fall somewhere between perfect health and the uninsurable line. Because the groups we work with wanted everyone to be approved, they created a category called special risk, where the program will be a few dollars more per month. In this category, you pay exactly what somebody would pay for the same health profile. I mean, obviously, the closer you are to the uninsurable line, the more the program will be. So, I mean, think of this like car insurance. So someone with the perfect driving record wouldn't pay the same as somebody who had a ton of speeding tickets. And the last offer is the counter offer. They created this category for somebody they may not have covered in the past as a last chance to get covered. So if the program came back any different than what we discussed, I will call you and let you know. But if the program did come back any different, would a few extra dollars be a problem for you?
No.
No? You sure?
Yeah, it'd be fine.
Okay. Did this checklist right here make sense to you?
It did, yeah. And it made a lot of sense when you said the car insurance.
Okay.
At first, you kind of lost me.
Perfect. Gotcha. All right. So you may receive 1 or more phone calls asking you to review the questions I have asked. It's just like a survey when you purchase a new car. It should only take 4 to 5 minutes. They may ask for a nurse to come out and ask you some medical questions. And for either blood or urine specimen. This is at no cost and at your convenience. They may be requesting medical records from your doctor. If for some reason your doctor does not respond to our request, they may come back to you and call you to call your doctor to speed up the process to release your medical records. All right, so the home office is going to call you, and they're just going to ask you everything we went over today. And there's once we're going to, in a little bit, we're going to sign the computer. They're going to ask you if you sign the computer. Just make sure you tell them that you did something.
And that's just like we're just typing our name in? Or
you're just
like
typing your name. So your name constitutes as a written signature, and it makes everything legally binding.
Okay.
All right, and they're going to ask you some other questions as well as the coverage, in which I'm going to go over throughout your folder as well.
Okay.
All right. And if a nurse did have to come out, what would be the best day and time for them to come out at your convenience?
For me, it would probably be a Friday after 2.
Friday
and
after
then,
2.
Mary's just always here.
And like I said, your name constitutes as a written signature and a legally binding document. All right, so if I can get you to sign down here on the bottom of this checklist. All right, Joe and Mary, almost everyone takes advantage of this program, like you, because the value and the cost is very small compared to the many benefits. Now, it is rare, but sometimes a member does cancel. It could be a week, a month, or a year later. Then we end up seeing those same people the next service period, and they're upset, and they're waiting to enroll. This is usually 2 or 3 years later, and they're upset because they're no further ahead than where they were. And most people want to end up re-enrolling for the benefits, but the problem is they're older, so the program is more expensive. And worse yet, their health has changed, so they can't even get the benefits anymore. The point is that this is not a short-term fix. This is a long-term solution. So the longer you're in the program, the more the value. So if this 130, this 125 is uncomfortable right now, let's just fix it while I'm here. So how does everything feel?
It feels fine.
Feels fine?
Yeah, we're comfortable with it.
Okay. Please make sure to keep this important program in place, and the next time I see you, you'll be really happy with it.
Okay.